Welcome to the commentated single segment real-time attack speedrun of New Super Mario Bros. DS. This run was performed live on July 5th, 2020 by me, Bofashuckle. Okay, so this run starts out with a trick called RNG manipulation, in which, as you can see, I loaded a save state, which always puts the game's RNG seed in the same place, no matter what. And in this game, the RNG seed is strangely controlled by certain sounds. So, as you can see, I'm doing a very specific jump pattern in 1-1, and that's because all the double jumps, every block that I hit that has a mushroom in it, and I believe wall kicks affect RNG and many other sounds. Also breaking blocks. As you can see, I get 2 block breaks on the star coin. And why this is so important is because I need to get a blue shell in 1-2. And why that's a challenge is because the main RNG portions in this game are that the red blocks and hammer bros move to random spots on the map, and they can give you random items depending on what level they're on. And so, there's a 1 in 6 chance of getting a blue shell here, but actually, we can manipulate that. Which is good, because it's actually required in this route to get the blue shell, which is not something that happens in any other route. Usually you can back it up with the roulette that you get after beating 1-2's secret, but in this route, you need to use that to get another item, so I'm required to do RNG manipulation. I use a shell to grab the 3rd star coin, and I want to explain some stuff about shell movement specifically. So the problem, a big problem when routing this game, is that Mario's full running speed while morphed in shell is, I believe, 11/12 the speed of Mario's normal running speed, and so, as not shell. And so, Mario needs to be not shell for basically as much as possible. But if you've ever played this game casually, you'll know that several star coins require you to have either the shell or the mini mushroom or the mega mushroom. And so, we have to route carefully around that and think about how we're going to deal with that. There are some skips and some roulettes. And actually how you get specific items in this game is quite interesting, because the roulettes aren't random. As you can see, I enter the 1-2 roulette, and I run up to it, and I just get the mini mushroom. That's the reason why I run up to it so weird, is because it's actually not random. This game runs at 60 frames per second, and so each item on the roulette block in the levels and in the roulette houses show up for 9 frames. And so if you hit them on the right frame, which you can either pause buffer or get a setup for, because they always start in the same place when you go enter the roulette houses and load them in levels. So you can always be sure to get the same exact item, which is extremely helpful. And you also might be wondering, hey wait, why are we going to World 5 so early? Well actually, if you look at the Bowser Jr. cutscene, where he takes Princess Peach into the tower, that would normally play after every single tower if I went about this game in a linear way. But if I go straight to the end of the game and beat one of the late game towers, the previous cutscenes won't play, which saves minutes in the speedrun. And this is a great example. Remember how I said that the shell speed is 11/12 of Mario's normal running speed? I'm doing a technique called unmorphs, which allows me to get Mario's normal running speed with shell. Because Mario's normal running speed is only slowed down when Mario's morphed into shell, and so we can jump and let go of Y midair to go much faster. There's also a movement quirk, I would say, with the shell, where for 2 frames, when Mario jumps, 2 frames after that jump, Mario can get a double jump, because it takes 2 frames for Mario to morph into shell. And so, to get this coming up star coin, I need to get a double 2-frame input, which is, in this game, it's at 60 FPS, so it's 1/30th of a second. And I get it. To get that star coin, that loses 2 seconds, I think, to miss. So it's not that big of a deal. It'll come in handy later. And just more unmarked movement. Yeah. It is possible to no bonk these stairs, but as you saw there on the stairs, there's a mechanic in this game that's really strange. Nobody quite knows why it exists, but there's something called a pixel stop, which basically if you land on the edge of a block or like a moving platform, then there's a chance that you just get stopped and you lose all your momentum. There's a way to cancel that. Usually when you're normal Mario, it's easier to cancel pixel stops because you can just crouch and you won't get pixel stopped. But with shell, it's significantly harder. I do a nice jump to get this third one. And I take the secret. And again, I'm skipping 5 tower because if I did it right now, I would have to watch the cutscene, which is obviously slow. And coming up in 5-3 is another shell movement port. Basically the goal when you're moving with Shell Mario is to not be in shell or try to negate the speed loss as much as possible. Because for this beginning section it is required to have the shell. So as you saw, I jumped on that block and did something. And the reason why I'm not unmorphing is because I'm actually moving at Mario's normal running speed. This is because I did something called Quick Slide Glitch, or QSG, in which you fall off a block, press down and left. And nobody really knows why it works. I believe somebody just found it while watching a task, and it's used in basically every category. It's not too risky. And it works really well with 5-3 because it's a nice open level. QSG doesn't really work that well with levels that you need to like turn back in, which in most cases is 100% levels. Here's 5 Ghosts. This is just a good... World 5 is basically just a good showcase of shell movement, everything that you can do. You do QSG, you do some cool on-morphs. I crouch and bonk. We use that quite a bit in this run.
Nice. Here I go.
this is just a cool auto-scroller. The only thing you have to really worry about is making that Boo not look at you. And actually, I want to talk about the route a little bit right now. So, as you can see, there's a mini mushroom in my inventory box. And, well, I want you to think, if you ever played this game casually, what levels do you need the mini mushroom for? I just want you to think about that. No spoilers. We're gonna do a route that might seem a little weird to people who have been running this category for a very long time. And of course, I take the 5 cannon because I want to get to the end of the game as fast as... I want to get to World 8 and beat a cutscene level as fast as possible so I can skip the other cutscenes.
Here I go.
And I'm also, that's another small time save. I'm not saving after those boxes. Normally you only save for safety, like in really late levels of the game. And this is a very good, okay, so that's springless. You bounce off the crow, and usually you use a box with a spring in it, and you take the spring up to that platform, and you jump on it to get that star coin. But actually, you can bounce on a crow to get to that loading zone early, which saves a pretty good bit amount of time.
So nice.
8-2 is a really annoying level. The skeeters that are on the top of the water in this level are pretty hard to avoid sometimes, and especially in this scenario, for the second star coin, you have to bounce off of the skeeter, which you can lose runs pretty easily too. I get a clean first room. This is... oh man. It's really bad. I get a pretty clean first room. This is also a showcase of mashing, because you can swim basically as fast as you can mash in this game. Just grab the star coin. Fun fact, you can actually grab that star coin as Small Mario, but it's extremely precise. And yeah, here's the star coin. I get really good RNG. The skeeter is just standing in the middle of the platform, just waiting for me to bounce on it. So I'm pretty happy about that. You do a little bit of a cool wall kick to grab that star coin fast. It's really important to make this cycle specifically, so I don't have to wait for the water to fall again and hit the button. And then 8 Tower. This is a pretty classic, difficult level.
Here I go.
And I actually get the Hammer Bro here, which scares me a little bit because in this level the Hammer Bro has a chance to jump up, and that's obviously bad, like right here. If the Hammer Bro jumps up, you lose your power up, which is awful because if you remember this game, 8-3 is the water level in World 8. And if you remember this game even more, you'll remember that Shell is significantly faster while in water. And so it's imperative to keep the Shell into that level. You can do that as normal Mario, but you lose, I think, like 20 seconds. You lose even more time than you usually do because you have to do the turnbacks for the star coins in 8-3. And this is a kill. You just short hop at the right time, and then just chain short hops on it. It's not too bad. And that's 8 Tower. And actually, the old route used to go back to, I believe, yeah, World 5. Like the super old route used to go back to World 5. But now we just keep going. And it might, if you've played this game before, it might start to become clear why we got that mini mushroom in World 1. I don't know, think about that. There's a very specific reason. And there's also a very specific reason why we can't go to Warp 5. Because this entire route hinges off of one very specific level in Warp 5. Stay tuned. And yeah, this is just like, this is a demonstration, perfect demonstration of, yeah, Shell's way faster in this level. Like, it's really hard to not get hit on the star coin with normal. It's actually possible, we've done it before. And also, it's faster to take the boost little jet streams from the pipes in this level. Okay. And so I lose Shell because it's slower from now on. I no longer need Shell because I'm not really gonna do any water levels anytime soon. And I'm not gonna need any star coins that require Shell. And as you know, Shell is universally almost always slower. This is 8-4. We have to, so this is the use of that mini mushroom. But you might be thinking, like, why didn't you just get the mini mushroom from the roulette in World 8? Well, actually, we need that right now. And now you can start to begin to understand why this route is really weird in the context of old 100% speedruns. And there's a little bit of a weird map, but there it is again. I do a weird turn back because I'm gonna reinstate every 9 frames the item changes. And so we can perfectly manipulate Mini. And this level is really fast as Mini. So it works out, I guess. You can actually grab the second coin with Mini by like jumping off or running off and wall kicking off the 1 block high, but it's super risky. I know it's only 20 minutes in, but I don't feel like it. And here's the fast cycle for the 3rd coin. That's kind of a new strat. Not that new. And now, because boss fights are way too easy in this game, you just... well, you'll see. Yeah. Oh yeah, if you saw, if I jumped on the switch, I would have gotten 444 on the in-game timer, which is actually bad, because when you complete a level in this game, when the timer ends in a repeating number, you'll get the fireworks. And even in castle levels, you won't get fireworks, but you'll get the cutscene of the house appearing, which is obviously really bad. Because you lose time, and that's not good. And by the way, yes, we could go back, like all the cutscenes are skipped in this game basically. So we could go back right now and complete the game without watching any cutscenes, but we're gonna keep going. for a very specific reason. Again, world's This is just a pretty simple level. You actually can skip fireworks on this level by doing an extremely precise shell grab, but it would require a complete reroute. 263, very nice.
So nice.
This is 8-6 coming up, a pretty famous level. It's the classic any percent level. It's got a lot of neat movement that people like. And it's even cooler in 100% in my opinion. You're supposed to take the cannon here, but you can skip it with 3 well-timed wall kicks. Let's go to first circle. Jump up here, break both blocks, so you can do the triple wall kick there. And then just crouch off. Do I get this? Did I mess this up? Oh yeah, I take a hit here. Yeah, that was pretty lame. But it's fine. So I can re-grab an 8-7.
So nice.
Okay.
Here I go.
And this is 8-7. So basically, it's really important to have fire here, and why I go out of my way to get it, is because there's a trick that you'll see coming up where basically if Mario fires a shot like that, yeah. Normally you cling on to the mountainous terrain. I don't know what to call it. But with a fire hop, Mario shoots a fireball and then jumps, I believe, within 3 frames. And that allows you to not cling onto the mountain, which is pretty fast.
So nice.
Also, jumping out of cannons is annoying in this game. Okay, 8-8 is the level with a lot of rocks. And you'll see what I mean in a bit. That volcano shoots out rocks, and yeah, that's exactly what you're thinking. Those rocks are completely locked, which is pretty bad in any percent if you're familiar with the any percent speedruns of this game. But it's even worse in 100% because you need to basically uncage not only the pipe but also the star coin. And so there are 2 things that you need the meteors to hit. And you can lose a lot of time. We call it a cycle. I missed this coin like twice. It's stupid. We call it a cycle every time the meteors have to fall to the ground. I got like 3 cycled, which is about the average luck actually. It is theoretically possible to get a 1 cycle, but it's really hard. And then I just do the bottom screen movement, which is pretty boring. It's just a maze. Grab coin 2. Fun fact, I broke a DS over this when I was 6 years old. Look at me now. I'm going so fast. Grab the star. I think I get it, yeah. I get the mushroom, and that's because of a trick that I want to. No spoilers. And that's just a dumb ending.
So nice.
I play the ending really safe. Because I don't want to lose my power up.
Here I go.
Okay. 8 Tower 2. So, this is an auto-scroller. And I'm gonna do something cool. So I grab fire, and the checkpoint in this level isn't actually that far away. And so, I go up here, triple jump, I make sure to land on that one block so I can jump without taking damage, and then I get the checkpoint and die. And what it does should be obvious. I respawn at the checkpoint, and I save maybe 7 seconds. What's nice about that is I think that it actually makes, in my opinion at least, it makes the second coin easier, because the fire bar cycles are more lenient. But yeah, the rest of this is just auto-scrolling. One of the only levels in the game where you actually have to get the red coins. Just, I don't know, I think it's funny. But yeah, it might be clear right now that we're gonna beat the game in one go. Which might sound strange, but as I've said before, there is a very... I mean, think about it. The only worlds that we have unlocked right now are worlds 1, 5, and 8. And I'm trying to specifically avoid world 5. And I don't want to warp back to world 1, because after we beat the game, well, your file automatically spawns in world 1. And so, I have to beat the game in one go, basically. Because I want to go fast. So, I assure you, this all makes sense. Trust me. I'm a professional. Jump up here. And this is why we need fire, because Bowser Jr. kills are almost 100% of the time faster with fire.
So nice.
Okay. And so, we unlock the final level of the game. Don't save. And then, here we go. This is a fairly difficult level. It's a pretty cool trick at the end. Yeah, we jumped over the 8 castle Bowser, so... leave your guesses in the comments below for what you think I'm gonna kill Bowser with. Oh man. I scroll my screen right. That's another really important mechanic of this game, is scrolling the screen left and right, because there are 2 kinds of cycles that this game loads things on. Local and global cycles. And when a level is loaded on global cycles, which most like enemies in this game are loaded on global cycles, so, and also the fire bars are, which is why I did in that room. And so you can spawn things earlier or later, depending on where your screen is. Because enemies, when they are loaded locally, spawn with respect to your screen. And sometimes you could even displace your spawn, but I'll get to that later. We use that in World 3, I think. Okay. So, do a cool turn back. I'm pretty sure you can do that faster. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That was really dumb. Okay. Yeah, just do the maze. Pretty easy. Ground pound. Bam. And that's all the star coins. And now I scroll my screen left and do a triple jump here, because normally you'd get like Bowser would stare at you, but for whatever reason, that's called Miko Minute, by the way. For whatever reason, Bowser Jr. just doesn't stare at you when you do that, and yeah, you jump over Bowser. Any percent in 2955, by the way. Smiley face. But yeah. 2 tricks back to back. Miko Minute and then Bowser Jr. And so we get 1 star. And it's actually really important that we beat the game before we go to World 5. For one very specific reason. I keep stressing this because this is like the coolest part of the run. To me. I don't know. No spoilers. But yeah, this is a 6-minute cutscene. This is the bathroom break of the run. Originally, this was at the end of the run, but basically there's a really strange history with where the ending cutscene is. It used to be at the end of the run when I started running this category, and then in Walrus's route, it was an hour in, and now in this run, it's literally the earliest that it could possibly be, because we only do any percent levels basically, which I think is just cool. I don't know about you. Okay, so the game is going to ask me to save, and if you pay attention, usually there's a text box that says, like, saved, and then you wait a few seconds and it gives you a prompt to press A. But actually, if you press LR plus start and select, or like plus, if you press all those buttons at the same time when it says saved, the game already saves, and so you can skip waiting for that A button, which saves 0.5. Okay, and now we're in World 1, in a post-game state. As you can see, on my file I had 1 star, which is actually really important for World 5. Think about that. Think about that. What could possibly be important? Scan your brain. Take some notes. Yeah. I'm just doing this level, this is pretty easy. It's not really much to say, it's just fire movement. Fire movement is much more straightforward. Up until this point, you haven't seen much, just fire run and jump levels, but here they are. This is where they were hiding. Also, there's that blue mushroom house, but we're not gonna go to it yet. Not quite yet. That is Spring Hyperspeed. Is it called Hyperspeed? I'm just gonna call it Spring Hyperspeed. It is now. But basically, if you jump on a spring and then go neutral, and what I mean by that is not press the direction on the D-pad, basically you'll keep the speed that you were running this into the spring with. Which saves a lot of time, because again, if you played this game casually, you know how slow the spring is. Saves a good bit of time and plenty of levels, actually. This is the 1 tower revisit. I grab. I actually can't. There's a faster cycle that you can do, but it doesn't save as much time because you have to grab fire for 1-4. That's another power-up around there. A lot of the challenge in World 1 is just keeping track of whether you have inventory fire or not, and whether you should. Because there's one place in World 1 and one place in World 2 where it's pretty important. The one in World 2 is more important, but whatever. This is just the normal way. And actually, this is a demonstration of what I was saying. So, remember how I said when you completed a later cutscene level, there would be no cutscene? Check this out. Bam! Cutscene skip. And that happens for every other tower in the game. Which obviously saves a lot of time. The previous route actually used to get the 5 tower cutscene, which loses time. A lot of it. Grand quantities. Yeah. And the 5 tower cutscene was actually skipped with the trick. Okay, I just like couldn't touch the bottom screen there. You activate reserve power-ups. That was one of the reasons why it was important to get the 1 tower reserve fire. Yeah. What was I saying? I don't know. It's too much to talk about this game, dude. It's hard. Yeah, I just ground pound there for like maximum safety. Because it's really easy to just fall in that hole if you're not careful. I did that for a long time in my first few rounds.
So nice.
Okay.
Here I go.
Okay. 1-A, while it is an auto-scroller, or actually, it's a water level, but it's also an auto-scroller, so we don't need fire for it, because it's just gonna go on its own speed anyways, for the most part. You can save like one in-game second, because you do that intro section faster. But this level's actually like way safer with fire because you can actually fend against the sharks. And it's pretty important to grab fire in this level, or else you lose time. This is the only place before where we need fire that you can get it without losing time, but it's pretty difficult. You just go into this pipe. Only the ending is pretty difficult. Funny story, on those bubbles that like bounce you around where you get the white coins, one time I got bounced into the death barrier and died in a hundo run. Fun fact. And I got that. Basically what I do is I just start swimming as soon as I see the leaf. And I just get the roulette fire. Which saves a good bit of time. Because the backup for that is getting in 1 castle, and the second backup is getting in 2-3. Actually, you can get it in 2-2, I just think it's easier to get in 2-3. I don't know, I'm weird. But yeah, some sick fire shots on these sharks. And this coin is it's the only like really scary part. You have a pretty big risk. Sometimes the shark can spawn at the top, like at the highest possible y-axis. And it's pretty hard to dodge because you have to wait for him and then shoot a fire off of the platform. I get another one of those pixel stops that I was talking about, and I think I talked about it in 1-2, I think? No. 5-2, yeah. 1-5. You can get really messed up on 1-5 if you don't know the jump pattern.
Here I go.
It's the fun level. But basically this level is fairly easy if you just know when to press A and when to not press A. Which sounds like a dumb statement. That's like every level, but you know what I mean. Just crash into that pipe, it's pretty easy. It looks way harder than it actually is. You just don't press A at all. And then press A once here, just get this entire auto-scroller. Good level. That fire kill can be pretty hard. It's the only really difficult part of the level. 2A forces there, and then just double off of that. And then boom. Easy. And I actually, there's a, I don't know if that's a glitch. I'm gonna call it an exploit, just to be safe. So people, none of the taskers in the comments call me an idiot. But basically, in 1 castle, which is one of the places where this is useful, if you double jump and then don't do any other kind of jump except for a crouch jump, you can actually store a triple jump infinitely. So these crouch jumps have the height of a triple jump, which is really useful because you can get the second coin very fast, which saves like 0.5, and also you get to do this cool strat. Yeah, that used to be an IL strat, until I did it, because I'm the coolest. Yeah. Swole kick. And how will I beat this boss now? Oh man, I'm excited. I bet you thought we were gonna jump it. It's actually faster to fire kick, because the cutscene takes a long time anyways. You can actually wait a little bit before hitting the switch, because the fight ends when you either fire kill him or hit the switch. And the cutscene takes less time when you fire kill. This is probably the most boring level in the entire game. That's like the only hard jump. But yeah, you should be able to easily get to 67s.
So nice. Here I go.
Okay. Lakitu cannot be... You can't steal Lakitu's cloud if you kill him by jumping on him, actually. And so you need to either fire kill him or throw a shell at him to steal his cloud. There might be other ways, but I don't know. I think you can also run into him with the blue shell power up. Question mark? I don't know. I'm gonna go check that. Anyway, easy level. Just go into the can.
So nice. Here I go.
2-3. This is the sewer level. You can uncrouch here, it's slightly faster. Or not uncrouch, stop sliding. Which is faster, by a little bit. That box would be the backup fire if you missed both the 1A fire and the 1 cast fire. So I'm gonna get all the star coins and then do the secret exit. Oh yeah, that's bad. But yeah, you crouch jump to get that coin, because if you run off the platform on the 3rd coin, you actually just bonk into the wall and then die. It's very sad.
So nice. Here I go.
Oh yeah, my Y button sometimes likes to just not work. That was one of those times. That was weird. But yeah, skipping fireworks, skipping the 44 repeating numbers. It's a pretty good time.
So nice. Here I go.
And T-A, this is just like in 1-3. I'm gonna abuse. That was weird. You're not supposed to do that. And so I run off, jump, and then go neutral, just like I did in 1-3. And this is the like massive application of Spring Hyperspeed. and I canceled the jump out of the water with a fireball to save a bit of time. Also, it's a good time to talk about how I'm turning around at the flagpole. Turning around at the flagpole actually saves a good bit of time.
Can I go?
So this is two Castle. And a thing to note about Two Castle is that it's one of the two castles in the game that sounds really weird. It's one of the two castles in the game that has two exits. Because depending on what power-up you beat the level with, either another power-up or mini, you can actually go to two different worlds. For this, it's World 3 versus World 4, World 4 being the secret world. And for World 5, it's World 6 and World 7, World 7 being the secret world. And so, we grab Mini here. And Mummy Cookie Mini is a pretty bad boss. Basically, to play this safe, like most people play this safe, and if you get a double, which is a Mummy Cookie, where he only pokes out two of his little body segments, then that can lose time.
So nice.
And you might be wondering why I'm not mad about getting 11 fireworks, and that's because when you get fireworks but you beat the level that ends the world, it doesn't actually play the cutscene, and so it doesn't matter. It's only bad after 8 Castle because it doesn't end the world. It just opens up the bridge. And I get really, like, that doesn't happen. So I just bonk, and it messes up my jump pattern, so I just go back and reload the enemies, just to make sure that I don't mess anything up. Oh my, this is, like, really just weird. But yeah. I gotta wall kick off the pipe because it's almost always faster to wall kick off the pipe that you're coming out of.
So nice.
And you're actually required to take all the cannons in this game, because if you didn't, the thing would still be red, which is bad. We don't actually want to do World 5 yet, because we still have another use for this mini. And we don't want to do World 5 with Mini because it's slow. Plus, we're going back there anyways. Don't worry about it. We'll get to World 5 eventually. I know you're on the edge of your seat, wondering what crazy shenanigans can go on. Also, that was terrible. You can get a 381, which is the fastest, I believe the fastest IL in the entire game. Yeah, so this is a pretty cool level because you have to do movement while selecting your inventory fire, which can be pretty difficult sometimes. This is probably one of my favorite levels in the game. Okay. So yeah, that's like the first really cool grab. And you do something, you do like a quick dive where you press right and left to get into the pipe faster. wall kick off that, and then the shell throw is way faster because it perfectly lines up to hit the block with the switch in it. Just fire kill that. Those hammer throws are way easier if you just do them fast.
So nice.
And then you get a clean 3-3-1. If you scroll the screen to the right, that's the only thing that makes that turbo jump onto the Koopa, which skips the risk of getting pixel stopped on the stairs. A lot of people don't know about that. I do something weird here. I like scroll the screen to the left and then to the right. But I kind of mess it up. I get the first part, but I try to scroll the screen to the right so the dry bones will be more to the left. So it spawns later, basically. And I pixel stop. If you get momentum on that little one block lip that allows you to jump, you can skip 2 of the wall kicks up to that door. Unfortunately, I suck at the game. And yeah, you can just single jump up there. Very cool. Ground pound cancel me on the dry bones.
So nice.
Easy level. You can actually save around, I think, 7 seconds in the like room with the claw where you wall kick on, but it's way too hard. You can do a bunch of really well-timed wall kicks, and if you do, you can skip that entire auto-scroller, basically. But it's super hard. I only have like maybe a 30% success rate. And yeah, this is... I was just nervous. This run was pretty good. That's my excuse. The jumps. This is actually a really good level to explain the mechanic that the jumps, like a lot of the AI in this game is controlled by where you are in the music. So all the bars in the music make the guys jump. That's a fun fact. I thought they were RNG until Pidgey4Eller told me else something. I don't know. But yeah, that was really good. Except for how it wasn't good at all. You can skip 33 fireworks there. I'll get a 3-3-4.
Nice.
Okay, 2-6. This is the funny auto scroller where people always die because it's that boring. That's probably my favorite thing about this route. There aren't too many auto scrollers super early. There is the 5-minute cutscene 30 minutes in, but we'll ignore that. Grab the 1-up because obviously I'm gonna die 50 times in World 7. Stay tuned. Oh man, I almost got hit by the piranha. That would have been embarrassing. yeah, and I like to basically I activate the top platform late so that I can shoot a fireball off the left side and try to kill the top piranha. So it's not really important. It's just I don't know. Auto-scrollers are boring. And so I try to do cool things, but I missed it. Sucks. Also, because these platforms are moving, it's totally a possibility to pixel stop and die in that ending section, which I've done before.
So nice.
Which is why I crouched. I was extra sure to crouch.
Here I go.
Also, that was really good RNG. The red blocks, if you're familiar with a game like Super Mario Bros. 3, map movement is really important in that game, and here it is too. Because after every level, all the red blocks and hammer bros, which is a variable amount depending on the world, will move one spot from one level to another, which means that you can get totally screwed. Like almost every world has its own special, really long and terrible place for the red block or hammer bro to cross. In any percent, the most famous one is the bridge. And that's why people get so mad about bridge crossings, because it loses like 2 seconds to get a bridge crossing. And I think in World 2, I think the World 2 secret is the worst one in the game, because it loses 3.5 seconds, I would say. So if you get the max amount of crossings, you can lose 17 seconds to RNG in World 2. But thankfully I got pretty good luck. This run overall had average luck.
Here I go.
This is 3A. Nice movement. So this is the water level. So I want you to think, what power-up will I use? And the answer might shock you. Or not. I don't know. Because in water, Mario moves faster. But you were wrong. It's actually me. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just commentating. I don't know anything. Ooh. Yeah. Entering pipes as many can be pretty bad. That was really jank movement, but it worked. I didn't die. So, whatever.
So nice. Here I go.
Oh man, what am I gonna get? On the edge of my seat. Oh man, shell. Could have seen this coming. But yeah, we actually use Mini for a small part of this level because of 2 specific levels that are coming up right now. Check it. Well, actually, it's not this exit, it's faster, but it's coming up soon. You get my point. Actually, this exit might be slightly faster. I don't know, I'm dumb. It's also really easy to ground pound early and not make that hype and just die. I've done that before. It really sucks.
So nice.
Also, that last secret room is a pain.
Here I go.
what am I gonna do with this mini? You'll see. By the way, the mushrooms are luck in this game. So every movement, and what I mean by that is every movement that a mushroom takes is luck. But thankfully, we don't have to deal with that luck, because we skip it. And that is the big application of Mini.
So nice.
And thankfully you don't lose time to getting Mini, because you get it in 3-A. And actually, there's one more cool thing that you can do. See, most people think that the only way to get to the top is by taking the middle. But actually, it's faster to take the left when you're Mini. Because you hit the wall jump pixel, and so basically it stops you, and so you can instantly get out of wall jump. And that saves a ton of time. And also this movement is just cool. You can drop shell and then do this tower really, really fast. I missed the jump, but 460 is really good. I don't get the 1 frame. If you try to jump on a switch, there's 2 frames where you can jump on it. 1 frame is where it doesn't activate, and the next frame is where it does activate. So you can get an activation jump and a non-activation jump. But nerd stuff aside, now we're in the real power-up. This is the shell zone. For all of you blue shell fans out there, I bet you're really happy. Now you get to see some prime blue shell movement. And right off the bat, we start with a water level.
Here I go.
And if you're not familiar with World 3, it should become immediately obvious why. If the island being the world wasn't enough to clue you in, it should be immediately obvious why we needed the blue shell for this. And this room can be pretty hard if you don't know what you're doing. But thankfully, I do. Usually, I used to go up, just directly up and take a more tight line, but it became too inconsistent, so I just go around. It doesn't lose too much time. Oh no, Mario, watch out. He's gonna get ambushed. Wow. Pro plays. 421 birds.
So nice.
This is 3 Ghost. A very fun level.
Here I go.
And fun fact, you can actually clip into a stair here by doing a neutral jump. Right there. If you get on top of that row of question mark blocks, you can do a neutral jump and just clip through the stairs. Moisten while I found that one. I was practicing Canonless for so long that he was just messing around in 3 Ghost and he found a whole new glitch. It's pretty fun. You can do a quick turn around there. It's much faster than doing the bonk. And this is a pretty cool trick. It's called fast button. Easy. We actually need the blue shell for this too. Because we need to break this. So it's not just water. This blue shell has plenty of work to do.
So nice. Here I go.
And we actually re-enter because there are 2 exits. One of them is to get the normal exit that opens the castle, and one of them is the cannon. Which, again, we don't really need it to get to World 6 because we're gonna beat 5 Castle anyways. But we do need it. Because, you know, 100% requirements. Can't just leave a cannon dead.
So nice. Here I
And so, we take the cannon. And oh my god, I wonder where we're gonna warp to. Well, this actually works out really well because we warp back to World 3,
Here I go.
and World 3 can essentially only be done in 2 branching paths, which is nice because we just warp back to the beginning halfway through after one of the branching paths. I don't know, a lot of things work out really nicely in this game. We can get that blue shell. You actually have to get that in canvas. But in this category, it's just cool. Also, it's really hard to see the bottom screen, so I have to try really hard not to get hit by a fish, because that'd be really bad. But other than the fish, pretty easy level. Yeah, easy.
So nice. Here I go.
And 3B, the beginning of this level is pretty cool. You jump to the lip of that pipe, and you press it down, and you can morph while on the pipe, which saves a lot of time over waiting for the piranha. And there's a roulette to the left of that red pipe, so if you lose shell, no big deal. You can just pause and then after roulette. Yeah, if you don't have a setup for certain roulettes, you can also pause. Because not only do the roulette items always show for a certain amount of frames, it always goes in the same order. It always goes, I believe, mushroom, fire, shell, mini. And then it repeats over and over again. Yeah. And 3C.
Here I go.
3C features a thing that I call spawn displacement. Basically, some things load at the same point, but they load when the camera is a certain point away. But some things, like the fish and the fire guys in 7-1, load. Their actual spawn placement changes with respect to the camera. And that's what I did there to get that star coin early. That saves 0.5. I think. Somewhere. So that's pretty cool.
So nice.
And 3 Castle contains a famous trick known as Take L cycle, found by Moisenoir. If you want to know why it's called Take L cycle, ask him, not me. I don't know. But yeah, you get, just like in 5-2, I said that we'd be doing the 2-frame triple jump again. That was it. And I completely forgot. You neutral jump through those. Basically, those weren't just normal jumps, because I know that it looks like they're normal jumps, but they're actually neutral jumps, in which you you unmorph, and then when you jump, you press down and no other direction, and then jump. And you get this. Your jump basically has really weird properties where you go through any object without taking damage or damaging it. And you can abuse that really hard. And also, oh man, we're in World 5. I bet everybody's excited. Oh man, I better not mess this up. This isn't the trick, I think I just messed this up. Aw, dude. I tried to back it up, but I can't get enough height, even with the ground pound. That sucks. This run sucks. But whatever. Just crash jump under that. I could have crash jumped again, but I don't know. It sucked. And then it's time for another auto-scroller. Wow. Insane. Yeah, this game doesn't have too many auto-scrollers, but it has a good amount.
Here I go.
Oh yeah, that's another example of really weird RNG. If you get like a power up like that, sometimes if you kill the hammer bro while trying to get past it, or like hit the red block, sometimes you can get a really weird item, and that can be really bad. Like if I got a mini there, it wouldn't be the end of the world, but it'd be a pretty dumb mistake. I actually have grabbed the mini in 5 Tower before. But that was back when it was like the first 10 minutes of the game. Now we do 5 Tower an hour 20. Pretty cool. And this is blind 5 Tower. Basically, if you look at the bottom screen, you can see Mario's moving without me having to look at him. This is because while the screen locks, it doesn't actually lock where you can move. And so you can just kind of climb vertical auto-scrollers.
So nice.
You could normally do that way faster, but the third coin takes a while to load, unfortunately. So you can't do it as fast as you would in, say, Cannonless. Oh man, it's close. Get ready.
Here I go.
So, this is the big route change, really. Because 5B secret, usually, if you've played this game before, you might be thinking, why does he have fire? What am I gonna do? Well, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. No, actually, I won't tell you. I'll just let the video speak for itself. Also, apparently I'm dumb. I'm bad at the game, except for now. You'll see. Just think about how I beat the game. I'm on a 1-star file right now.
So nice.
I actually do something really dumb here, but I pause, press LR, X, X, Y, Y, and activate the challenge mode. And what the challenge mode does is it basically turns... It's basically like a original Super Mario Bros. Mode. And by the way, I did not intend to get the shell there, that was complete luck. And this is actually what made me do my dumb mistake. Basically, because I had shell, usually you can't get this exit with fire. And so I was like, oh, I can just do it normally. Then I realized that the screen didn't scroll to the left, and so I couldn't do it normally. And so I had to pause exit, and that was the biggest mistake of the run. It lost 30 seconds. But, at least I get to show this off. Okay, so I'm in challenge mode, and basically, they didn't test this all that much, but it makes your screen lock, and so you can't move to the left after a certain point. And so, if you position your camera between a wall, and then squeeze through, you can clip through the wall, allowing you to reach the exit without the shell. And that is the entire point of the route. That is why we waited so long to go to World 5. And that's why we beat the game before going to World 5. Now we can move on. I'm really proud of that. LR, X, Y, Y to deactivate challenge mode, and then we're good to go. All the people who didn't even know challenge mode existed, their mind would be blown. Oh man. Yeah, this is also a level that has seen a lot of improvement over the years. Fortunately, I kind of messed it up. Wasn't that bad. That's Bruiser Bounce. Basically, in this game, the velocity that you get off of bouncing on an enemy depends on what side you bounce on them. And so if we bounce on his left, then we can get boosted towards the line, which saves a good bit of time. It's the most optimal way to play that section that I know of. And this is an auto-scroller. Basically, this is where all the auto-scrollers were hiding, in mid-game. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I wasn't paying attention, and so I just got hit by one of the bullets. Basically, this level is famous for these mushrooms, which I think only appear on this level. I might be stupid. I think they only appear on this level. And the bullets that appear off screen. This is a really easy level to I can't explain it. A lot of the auto-scrollers in this game, you just lose focus, so it's super easy to get messed up. Okay, you grab the star coin up top. I wait for him to turn back so he doesn't fall off the mushroom. You grab the star coin up top with the shell through. You can actually grab the star coin up top by going in yourself, but it's a little riskier. And there's no reason to because it's an auto-scroll. Yeah, that's the final star coin. Pretty easy. Easy. and 210. Usually you get a 212, but I lost time to the 2 power-up animations because I got hit like an idiot.
Here I go.
And remember I said there were only 2 castles in this game that had 2 exits? Well, actually, we don't have to take the second exit, because for some reason it just doesn't count. I don't really know why, but I guess the only thing that counts is like the blue tape between worlds, because we can unlock World 7 in a different way. Unlike World 4, which we can only unlock by taking the 2 castle secret exit. Which is a pretty big time save and also really nice because doing PD Piranha as Mini is super luck intensive. But yeah, it's much less luck intensive when you do him as big, because the only thing you have to worry about is when he drops once. You can either get a 1 drop, a 2 drop, or a 3 drop, which is basically how many times he has to turn around before he drops. And on average, you get 2 drops. Just like in one castle, we're gonna use triple jump storage here twice to make things a little bit easier. You can use it in a different place, but basically I double jump and then do 2 crouch jumps to skip a wall kick on that, which saves a bit of time. And you can actually take top route, but I find it inconsistent to get the right Koopa spawns.
So nice.
Also, shoutouts to Pity Prowler for dying on this level in his PvE. The legend. This level is pretty weird because it has tornadoes. It's actually faster to wait to dive instead of hitting those blocks, because the diving animation is slow. Crash off that. Yeah. And you dive kind of early and get this triple jump, which is a bit difficult, but possible. Easy. Don't ask how Pidgey died on this. I don't know either.
So nice. Here I go.
Okay, Success 2 is a really weird level, specifically because of the way the cycles work. Basically, it doesn't matter how fast you go unless you vaguely make the right cycle. The way the star works near the end is really weird. So basically the only stressful part of this level is right here, because you have to nail this. I crouch above there to not pixel stop at the top, and then you should be able to easily grab the coin without wall kicking. Some people have a lot of trouble with that, I don't know. another roulette, but I ignored because I'm a gamer. And then I grabbed the star. It's actually faster to skip the star, but it's pretty luck-based. It's pretty dumb to just assume that you're gonna be able to fire kill all the spinies. You can get a triple jump and save a few. It doesn't matter too much as long as you get a jump out. It's actually really good.
Nice. Here I go.
Okay. I believe, yeah, this strat was found by My Little Walrus. Basically, you used to not have to take damage in 6th Tower, but it saves a few seconds to deboost through. I wait a few seconds before jumping because I would lose my invincibility frames while on a crusher otherwise. And you can get 2 wall kicks if you play it really optimally, which I did, which is very nice. Those wall kicks are harder than they look, honestly. I don't blame anybody for missing that.
So nice.
Just an easy fire kill. That's one of the easiest fire kills in the game. You just stand still and mash fire. I keep getting the urge to split. But I can't. I'm sure I'd mess something up if I pressed the space button. Miss some recording.
Here I go.
This level is weird. I don't know. Okay, you grab that coin and kill the piranha to get a good spot to triple jump. And then you can just triple jump right over that. It's pretty odd. But it works. Six 4, if you remember 8-7, if you like the cool fire hops in 8-7, you'll love 6-4. Clearly. Because this level is like entirely fire hops. Assuming that I didn't mess it up in this run, which I hope I didn't. Oh, I messed it up really bad. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to be able to just crouch right through that hole, but I got too much speed. I'm doing some camera scrolls because these fire pillars are loaded on a local cycle, and so I can manipulate when they load. I'm scrolling right here, and I wait a lot on that wall kick. Normally you can triple jump there, but I missed it because this is a really bad 6-4. Wall kick off that. Some cool fire hops. Bam. Bam. The triple. And these are hard. Like it. Head. Yeah. I only started going for the triple fire hops in the small fire room recently.
So nice.
It's actually pretty hard. It's one of the harder Hundo exclusive strats.
Here I go.
Oh, don't tell me that I do this. Oh my god, I'm dumb. I get the one block jump back up. Doing a wall kick off one block walls is actually pretty tight in this game. Because the wall jump mechanics are very strange compared to other Mario games. Dang, this 6 Tower 2 sucks. This is one of my least favorite levels in the game, personally. I just think it's kind of boring. I mean, obviously I don't practice it too much.
So nice.
But easy kill. And for those of you who don't remember 6-5, it's one of the worst levels in the game. I did say that 6 Tower 2 is one of my least favorite levels in the game, but 6-5 is my least favorite level. Least favorite isn't strong enough. I hate 6-5. Let me just put it that way. It's actually a water level, but thankfully we can re-grab Shell in this level. Okay. So you jump, and again you have 1/6 of a second to grab an item, a specific item from the box. And I get quick slide glitch on the ledge in 6B, just like I did in 5-3. And again, that gives me normal running speed as Shell, which is very useful. And again, you get to see cool moves. What am I doing? 6B sucks.
So nice.
Okay, but now that we have Shell, because thankfully there's just a roulette laying in the middle of 6B, we can take on 6-5 with confidence. The reason why I hate this level will become clear. I scroll left to spawn these later, so I can take a tighter line around them. But after that point, all of these fish are random. Literally every single one. And that is why this level is awful. That fish was trying to hide behind the coin. Cool. I had to turn back so much. This is a terrible 6-5. Yeah. He was after me. He was out for blood. Oh my god. Like the worst 6-5 RNG. It's like the worst 6-5 RNG you can get without getting hit. But yeah. The best you can get on this level is, I think, a 316. And I get, what? A 308, yeah. Jesus. I lost 6 seconds, because an in-game time is approximately 3/4 of a second. I believe. Okay, this features 6-6 features 2 propeller skips. And they're both very cool. Never mind. This game sucks. I pixel stops. Pixel stops happen when you least expect them. Spring hyperspeed. And then you can skip that propeller, and you can also skip the propeller over here. You don't use a whole lot of propellers in the propeller bubble. And then you're normally supposed to do like a whole really long sequence where you use the propeller to hit the Koopa and then hit the P switch, and then you jump on the Koopa below to get into the third coin room, but you can just fire kill and then jump off the Koopa below and break the blocks, which is really fast. And the only real risk of losing your run is if you fire kill the Koopa below the blocks. Because enemies will always respawn unless you kill them in a certain way. But yeah, 306 because I got the pixel stop at the start.
So nice. Here I go.
6 gas. People used to call me dumb for how I did the opening of this level. Check it. Bam! If you don't get enough speed there, you can totally miss that, but I always thought it was worth it. Lots of cool shell throws. And of course I missed the second one because I suck. That was really risky. You should not go for the jump around on that. But I did, and it worked, so whatever. I don't know why or what makes these cycles work, but sometimes they're perfectly lined up and sometimes they're all over the place, so... If anybody actually knows, I wouldn't mind having a fun fact to tell people. But yeah, this boss is easy. You can know exactly when he's gonna pop up by looking at Monty Mole in the tank. And you hit him once, so you don't have to, because this third phase is harder to kill. Because you have to jump twice. And so you you basically skip the third phase by doing 1 damage to him on the first hit and 2 damage on the second hit. You immediately warp to World 4.
Here I go.
Oh man, yeah, this 4-1 sucks. You can do 4-1 without slowing down at all. Which is really hard to do. But usually I get a 65 on the in-game timer. That is not one of those this is not one of those times. Let's do a nice crouch. Yeah.
So nice.
I was pretty nervous at this point. I was like, what?
Here I go.
Maybe 2 minutes ahead? Yeah, very, very nice bouncing. Very cool. And I just completely flood Dory skip. Oh yeah, that's supposed to be an auto-scroller, you're supposed to like use Dory. But, you know, it's only for noobs. Waiting's for losers. Bam. Easy. Alright.
Here I go.
So, 4-2. This is a pretty generic run and jump level. It does have a few hard jumps, like jumping under that can be kind of weird. Also the triple there is pretty precise. You can see him like trying to boost off of as many mushroom platforms as possible. Also that was like terrible. I try to crouch into that spot so I can uncrouch under the block and hit it instantly. You can actually hit the vine block without uncrouching in one jump. It's extremely precise.
So nice.
Oh man,
Here I
I think I saw 4-3 open. I'm excited. You'll see why. We get mini again. Easy. Easy 1/6 of a second. 4-3. This is an auto scroll. I don't know why I'm so excited. There's one thing. There's one thing that's slightly interesting about this level. But yeah, eels try to kill you because they suck. And it's really easy to miss the star coin. I missed the star coin on my first run because I didn't practice it. No red coins, very sad. Oh man, is this it? Yeah, this is the spot. Check it. Okay, so I go up high. Bam! The kiss. That's... I don't know. That's a little dumb thing that I do. I like to make the eels kiss. I don't know, I'm weird, I guess. That was what I was excited for, by the way. You may now skip the auto scroll. And I wonder why we got that mini mushroom. I wonder what world we could possibly go to next. That stair Goomba is annoying.
So nice.
It's much harder than it looks.
Here I go.
Oh yeah, and that red block took the bad pattern. If you remember me talking about the time loss related to patterns, every world has its pattern, and for this world it's that. But yeah, you can make a pretty relatively lenient cycle. In 4 Tower. I don't think I make it. Yeah, because I was too far to the right. Normally you can, if you go fast enough, you can just wall kick and then crouch hop out from under the one block on the left. But I'm slow. Whatever, we lost 2 IGT. Okay, and I actually I do this first. I don't really know why. I think in theory you could do either one first, but I don't know. It's always been done 4A first, so everybody's done it, as far as I remember. There's a really cool cycle that you can make. If you scroll to the left, the Koopas spawn in such a way that you can just bounce into them. I found that, smiley face. That's my strat. Oh yeah, I think I messed this up. Yeah. Wait, no, I don't. I should get fireworks suit here. Yeah, I do.
So nice.
I don't remember getting fireworks suit. Yeah. I guess I'm better than I thought. I'm so cool.
Here I go.
We do 4 ghosts, the weird level. The spinny platforms. Yeah. They go crazy. They go into the 3rd dimension. It's insane. Oh yeah, this is the only level with the big boos for some reason. There are a lot of levels in this game that use one-off mechanics. It's like half the levels in this game. You can recognize them by saying, oh yeah, that's the big boo level. I mean, it's not even like they specifically work well for this level, it's just, I don't know. What were they thinking?
So nice.
Okay. So, I wonder where we're gonna use this main mushroom for. There's also that uncompleted 4-4. So, when are we gonna get back to that? Another trip to World 4, perhaps? I don't know. I'm just a guy. Whoa! Mini mushroom moment. Also, this hitbox is jank, so you can just jump over it. You can basically clip into that hitbox. The hitboxes don't work in this game. If you want to know what I'm talking about, like, play 7-2. Try to do 7-2 full skip. You know what I mean.
So nice.
But yeah, whoa. And that unlocks the cannon. So I guess we're going to World 7. What will we do with Minnie? So, this is actually pretty interesting, because I think this section has the biggest divide between casual play and fast play. Fast play, whatever. Because if you remember this as a casual, you might think that, you know, oh, I should probably skip this section, right? Because, you know, and normally there's 3 auto scrollers. But that, just watch, you'll see. That isn't the same in the speedrun. So, that skip was found by Greenlink back, like, way back in the day. You can grab that coin really fast. And it only became RTA viable, like, 2 years ago, I think? I remember Moistenwell was the first one to do it RTA. And then I quickly learned it after. This is 7-1 skip. So, a big problem in the old route was that we were doing 7-1 twice. And 7-1 was the only level that we were doing twice that didn't have 2 exits. And that was because to get the 3rd coin, normally you need to take the normal path in the first room. Normally you need to take the normal path and the secret path. But you can actually take the secret path, get the 2nd coin, and also get the 3rd coin, by standing at the right of the platform, you manipulate the fire guy, and then jump all the way over, do 4 bounces, and then get all the way on the other side of the level. And then you can do reverse 7-1 skip. So 7-1 changed from one of the most boring levels in the game to like one of the hardest levels in the game, because there are like a billion different auto-scroller skips. And getting a 3-3-2 is insanely hard, especially on a pace like this. Like 2 hours into like the best run that I've ever had, easily.
So nice.
This is a hard category. I hope that's coming across
Here I
in
go.
this commentary, but this category is hard. We have to do this one more time. We used to do this with Big Mario. We used to grab Mushroom in the first section of this level, but then it was discovered by a trick that you're about to see right now that it's actually faster to do this as many. Basically, if you hit the goop as many, you just up warp. If you wall kick onto it. I don't really know why. You're gonna have to ask a Tasser on that one. They probably know. But, yeah. This game's weird. And this jump pattern is kind of scary. If you mess this up, you have to pause, exit the level, and try again. Because there's no other way to get up to the 3rd coin without the bricks. And oh man, 7-2 is coming up.
So nice.
The gigantic vertical auto-scroller. Or is it? I don't know. Am I coming off as too cheesy? I probably am. I'm gonna get yelled at in the comments. Wow, why am I saving? This level must be hard, but it's an auto-scroller. I wonder what'll happen. I'm on the edge of my seat. Okay, so basically this is the biggest abuse of local cycle loading in the entire game. Almost every jump in 7-2 is completely planned out because almost every jump spawns a Koopa. So this level is really bad, and you just have to understand where everything spawns. Like, I intentionally get a little bit of height on the jump from the left to the right Koopa, because that gives me the 2-2 spawn that I got on the semi-solid Koopas. And then I can jump up, bam, wall kick again, oh my god. And then I do like basically this blind jump. That is really hard. That momentum jump is really hard. And that is one of the hardest tricks in the game. That took me like 2 hours to get my first
So
time.
nice.
One day I just played 7-2 for 2 hours and figured it out. But yeah, so 2 auto-scroller skips. And unfortunately, because unfortunately, this one has an actual auto-scroll, so we cannot skip it. But there are some strats. Check this out. Because we need to be fired for the tower, we can grab this, and then we can grab the red coins. Yeah, if you jump, hit the block, and then ground pound cancel, you can get multiple hits in. And you can also grab this block, which I didn't know existed until like 2 weeks ago. I was pretty mad when I realized that block just existed without me knowing about it for years. Wait for that boomerang, bro. And then this is the level where you just chain stars. By the way, if you didn't know, this Wiggler actually has a finite amount of body segments. And so there is a risk, technically, of falling off the back. It's a fun fact. And the coin up here, I missed this like a lot. You have to time your jumps with the Wiggler's body segments rising. And I hit the block after my star goes away. And so I have to do this without a star. But thankfully, I don't lose my power-up. Losing your power-up on this is really bad. I just like spill all of my spaghetti in this last segment of 7-3. I don't know why. Guess I'm just bad. Sucks to suck. Okay.
Here I go.
And this is a cycle-based level. Basically, this entire level hinges on the final cycle. And no, you can't go faster. You can actually get a 4:16, but you can't... This is what I'm talking about. This is what I was talking about global cycles versus local cycles. And you can't load stuff earlier in this level. It's always loaded at the same time. And so every part of this level is moving spontaneously. Is that how you use that word? At the same time. I don't think that's quite right. But yeah. The hardest part of this level is that one crouch jump. It's really easy to miss. If you go too late, you bonk and get hit. And if you go too early, you bonk on the spikes above you. You have to take this really optimally, or else you'll get crushed. That's a hard cycle to get. Ugh. But yeah, this boss is pretty easy. This boss is hard in Canonless, because you have to do like a weird kill with Minnie, but in Hundo, you can just kill it. It's easy. But yeah. So, this is yet another application of Spring Hyper Speed. I told you it'd come in handy. Again, just go in neutral. Easy. You actually can get on top of that pipe if you get a mini wall kick. I've done it before. You get a mini, like, pipe wall kick. But yeah. Diving on the top of that is faster.
Here I go.
And this is a pretty major trick that saves 20 seconds. I believe it was discovered by Spicy Noodles, who currently holds the world record in 8%. This is a pretty jank bomb trick, but it worked. So basically, normally you have to equip Mega to break the blocks in the stage, but actually, I got hit there, that's kind of dumb. But actually, if you place a bomb there, and then place a bomb there, you can just break the blocks. And that saves 20 seconds because you don't have to go into the Mega House and get it, which is super fast. And it also doesn't lose time, I don't think, to the actual level. I think it's about the same speed as just using Mega.
Here I go.
Yeah, this is a good level. It's fun. Because pipe hitboxes are weird, you can do a little bit of a skip that's coming up. I do think I got it this run. Yeah, there it is. I was supposed to damage boost through the piranha, but I forgot. I scroll the screen to the left to load the piranha earlier, so that it goes away faster. And I grab the mini with a walker. And I abuse the same trick that I used to get the mushroom in 7-3 and do a double hit on the smiley block with a ground pound.
So nice. Here I go.
And this is just a classic canonless level. Nothing too hard. There actually is a harder strat that you can do, but it's not. It's barely even worth it in canonless. And yeah, that's like the easiest level in this section. Actually, no. There are 2 auto-scrollers. Never mind.
Here I go.
The easiest movement level. You can just full jump off the end of that block section. You get a pretty good setup. Full jump combo.
Here we go.
Yeah. It's really nice that it lines up. You just get like a triple bounce and jump over the entire level. But yeah, here we go.
Nice.
We're in 7-6. Moisenwa's least favorite level. I always like this level, but Wa always says that it feels like a Mario Maker level, which he's honestly not wrong. Look at all the Koopas. Who made this level? You got like that really jank bounce. That's what I'm saying about the hitboxes. Boxes are just weird. That was a really clean vine section. Getting all that is really hard. Getting the double block hit and the fire shot to actually connect. It's hard. It's a hard game.
So nice. Here I go.
And this is the second trick. And I just like I knew that I was gonna make it, and so I just gave up. This is really dumb, dude. And I just forget to shoot in the right direction, so I lose fire. Look at all these Koopas. Like, what is this little? I mean, I like it, but it's kind of dumb.
So nice.
It's a little dumb.
Here I go.
Oh yeah, the red block pushes the Koopa off. I've never seen that before. Forgot about that. But yeah, this is a pretty bad part of the run, honestly. It's just 2 auto scrollers. There's nothing to say. These red coins are kind of hard to get. Oh man. Look at this donut block. Donut block. Oh my god. Yeah. Dang, I didn't even get to tie IL record because
So nice.
I equipped. Shame.
Here I go. Yeah. Woohoo!
Okay, so I just like wait for it to drop and then just go right. That Starcoin's easy. I have to turn off my fan. Ah, I'm doing so much for this commentary. I'm dying. Select Thunder Quick Kill. I accidentally got, just so I said in 5C, your velocity after you jump on an enemy is based on where you jump on me.
Oh, nice.
So I got like a lot of left momentum, which is actually what was supposed to happen, but I didn't get enough upward momentum. And so I couldn't get the ground pound. You can actually kill him really quickly if you do that. But I got a good backup, so whatever. Yeah, I used to shell kill this Wiggler, but I realized I just wall kick. And I scroll right there so that the red Koopa isn't right next to me when I try to fire kill him. There's a really high chance of you getting hit by the red Koopa after the first one if you don't screen scroll. I wall kick too high because I'm just nervous. I jump over, but it's still not enough to get fireworks skip, unfortunately, so I have to wait. I would've gotten 55. Oh man, you can see the final level of the game. We're almost here.
Here I go.
Okay, you can get a really fast cycle, so everything that I do, like, I scroll the screen right here to try to make the bomb spawn on the pipe faster to save a few frames. The platforms near the end of this level are on a global cycle, so I need to save every frame that I can to try to get the cycle in this level. Unfortunately, it all hinges on a one-block wall kick, which if you remember is pretty difficult, and I missed it. I would have gotten it, but I missed the ground pound again. At this point, I'm just completely spilling all possible spaghetti because I'm nervous. And I thought it wasn't gonna blow off the rightmost block, so I waited a little bit. That bomb explosion is really weird. Check this out. Oh my god. The snipe. I throw the star coin in the hole. Or, I throw the bomb in the hole to get the star. Yeah. That's what I meant to say. But I lost, like, 7 seconds, I think, to not getting that. Not getting the one block wall kick, which kind of killed getting the 222 RTA.
Here I go.
And some people like to call I keep calling it 2.6, 4.6 in auto scroller, but there's actually a lot of things that you can do to make 2.6 easier and faster. 4.6 every time. Whatever. If you ground pound Dory, she goes faster, basically. And there are a lot of places that are really important to ground pound. Like, this island coming up, if you don't ground pound, you lose like 4 seconds, I think. That's the biggest intentional time save that people go for. 4.6. I said it right this time. Impossible. I used to grab the star here, but then I realized that it made the red switch hit much harder. Because I think Mario's vertical hitbox is shorter. And you need as much vertical length that you can get. Because Mario curls up into a ball when he jumps his stock. And 206, very good. here it is! 4 castle.
So nice.
So right now I have 77 star coins. And if you're wondering why I'm gonna have 80 leftover star coins, that's because I need all the money that I can get to buy all the wallpapers. Because that blue mushroom house that we got in World 1 is actually gonna come in handy. Told you we were gonna come back to it. Okay, so I damage boost. You can actually make a faster cycle by getting out of there in the same damage boost. But it's pretty hard. It's not worth it for the end of a 2-hour, 30-minute run. And you can imagine the nerves. And this is the last jump of the game, and I made it. That's so nerve-wracking on that last jump. But basically, there's nothing else I can mess up once I use the run for buying stuff, which would be tragic.
So nice.
That was a really bad fire kill. Must have been because my match was off key. That's not how you say that. Whatever.
Here I go.
Then we go into one mushroom. And time ends when Dexbox shows up. And that is New Super Mario Bros. DS in 2 hours, 23 minutes, and 9 seconds. No, it's actually more like 2:27:59 adjusted for loads. I mean, that is just an estimate. It's probably lower, but...
Here I go.
And of course, you have to check the file. I accidentally entered the mushroom house, but yeah. You can see I got 3 stars, and that is the requirement of the category. So yeah, GG.